only have a limited number that we can ship out right now because it is very, very popular. We're going to go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air with Lisa. And Kevin, what's your name?
Hi, Lisa. It's Renee from California.
Hey, Renee. Chris is over there kind of giving us a look at how to use the ladder there.
I got to tell you something. I have this ladder. It is awesome.
Oh, now what do you use it for, Renee?
Everybody wants this ladder. I live in an apartment with vaulted ceilings. Uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Alright, I think the title of this video is going to be something like, I was wrong and I do apologize. And I'm serious about that. I made a video, not too long ago. And, I was talking about how mankind is, some of the most violent beings, creatures, animals, or whatever around. And the other morning, it was about like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was watching some nature documentary, and I was reminded that animals, in nature is sometimes more cruel than, humans. As a matter of fact, it was some chimpanzees that went out hunting as a family, and they were hunting for other types of monkeys. And they were talking about how the chimpanzees use teamwork. And, they were saying that basically, a chimpanzee on its own, is basically doomed because, you do need a family network. And even within that family network, you need it's that classism, even in nature. It also showed how two of the same type of apes met each other at a border. It started off saying that it was these two brother apes that had to deal with their stepfather. And they was like, no matter what was going on, they still needed their stepfather. And all three of them ended up going after this certain fruit tree. And this fruit tree happened to be at the border of their territory and another ape clan, which, they were the same type of apes. And so the stepfather saw that there was another ape from the clan, chilling at that border, and the stepfather tried to intimidate the other ape, and the ape, basically looked at him like he was stupid. So then the stepfather, crossed the border of the territory line and went after and attacked the other ape. And eventually the stepfather scared the other ape away, and he and the two brothers, ate from that fruit tree. I was like, yo, when I was talking my shit in that other video, I was talking like, animals don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Humans do this. Humans invade other humans' territories and, and take over shit. Steal shit. And I was like, yo, I was wrong, man. I was wrong. And I knew at that point I needed to make this video, because I forgot, as a matter of fact, that shit goes on in nature. I mean, in that video I mentioned how, when I was a kid, I used to watch videos that was from Mutual of Omaha. You know what I'm saying? They did nature videos and documentaries and shit on PBS or something like that. On the weekends especially. So I was like, through time I've seen a lot of documentaries and TV shows or whatever dealing with nature and animals, and what they do in their environment and how they treat each other. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, animals are the same types, how they treat each other. And I was like, oh man, even with a jaguar, it was talking about how, I remember this one video of how one jaguar had crept into another jaguar's territory and was, because they were going through mating season, and that other jaguar was leaving its scent in that other jaguar's territory. You know what I'm saying? In order to attract the females that was in that other jaguar's territory. And I was like, yo, I forgot about that shit. So, most definitely, I apologize wholeheartedly for, talking my shit and forgetting, the things that I have seen. And I was trying to make a point, but my information was incomplete. So I appreciate anyone that forgives me on that. My channel is all about growth and passing on information, because I never know when someone's going to watch one of my videos and be like, that motherfucker's on something. You know what I'm saying? And there's times when I'm like, yo, I know I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not crazy. And then I was on another video. I think I just posted it. I was talking about, how humans constantly make aliens that's on TV shows humanoidish, as far as where the eye sockets are, where the nose and nostrils are, where the mouth is, where the ear holes are and things. And I was like, but wait a minute. In mythology there's different type of creatures, mythological creatures that, was half human, half beast. You know what I'm saying? And like in the Hindu studies, you gotta deal with the elephant, the elephant head and many armed head. I don't know. It's some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when it comes down to religion and when it comes down to people in general, they have worship some deities that were not humanoidish, but were more dealing with the animals in nature. And it's like with astrology, astrology, there's a lot of animals dealing with zodiac signs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not all aliens or things that man create, are humanoidish in appearance. And so, I gotta retract that statement. You know what I'm saying? From that video, you know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, as much shit that I watch, I'm like, there's so much that I can absorb, and there's so much that I could talk about, and I'm just like, when it comes down to it, there's a lot to learn in this world. There's so much that people have created or imitated or stolen and basically revamped, you know what I'm saying, whatever original thoughts or original creations that were once out there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, sheesh. You know, that's why I say it. There's a lot of shit out there that I could still be researching, but I can't trust everything because, you know, someone had debunked this or debunked that. Somebody rewrote this, rewrote that. Someone has told the story in so many different ways. And, you know, it's like, I'll hold myself accountable because I be talking my shit, and sometimes I be right on the edge of some true factual shit, but I don't have all the information to make it complete. That's why I ask y'all, you know, anyone who watches my video, to question everything that I talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to have everything that you need to really complete these different topics or different things that I'm talking my shit about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, today, not too long ago, about an hour ago, I was watching some 7 Days to Die footage, and I was also watching some car races, some GTA 5 car racing, and in the background, you know, there was something on the news, and I'm sitting there, you know, it's like the whole balancing act of the good and bad. You know, I don't like watching the news. Yeah, I'd be like, man, people, the news reporters or news channels, you know, they deal in ratings. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's going to get us some ratings? And they were talking about how there's a lot of golfers out there fighting on a damn golf course. And, you know, they're showing, you know, all these different instances that these golfers, you know, they're just showing video of what people had caught, you know, as far as these golfers fighting. And I'm like, damn, you know. And then there's a report they did on a woman that was walking with her daughter on some type of vacation, and the mother had slipped and was, her daughter, you know, happened to grab a hold of her arm, and withheld her until somebody else came through to help her. And a guy did come through and did help, and did pull that woman up. And, you know, it was a moment of celebration, a moment of happiness, you know what I'm saying? Something good was reported. You know what I'm saying? We don't, you know, sometimes we don't always get good news on these news channels. So it's like whenever you do hear something news, it's kind of like, it's more than saying it's about time. You know what I mean? It's more than just saying it's about time. It's really a celebration, because if you're a sensitive type person and you get tired of hearing, you know, the blues, you know, you're gonna go through your emotions, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get fed up. You're gonna want to find a way of getting some balance. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm sitting up here having a good damn time, you know, but I got the news in the background with these different, you know, news reports. It was a news report of a young man that thought he was talking to a female over the internet, and sent her some private pictures. Come to find out, it was a scam, and whoever was scamming them was like, I want $1,000, or I'm gonna expose you. And the young man sent $300, and the scammer was like, I want more. I hate commercials. And the young man was like, I'd kill myself before I send you any more money. And the scammer was like, yes, do it then, and you better do it fast. And no shit, the young man shot himself. And by the end of the story, they did say that they tracked down the scammer, and they're going to bring him here to America to convict him, of some crimes. So I'm like, man, that was fucked up. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I know that the COVID pandemic is not as strong as it was, but it's still going on. They're just not reporting shit. But people are outside living their lives like, what is it, YOLO, you only live once. And at the same time, they're getting themselves into situations that they don't need to be. It pisses me off that folks cannot be content within their own home. It's like, okay, I understand we need to go to work for a living, but I also understand that even on your drive to work, you could be doing something right, and somebody else can crash into you. And it won't be your fault at all. I understand that, and I hate that. And you're doing the only thing that you need to be doing is providing for yourself and your family. And I think that is just so fucked up. I'm just like, goddamn. If you ask a person to take care of themselves the best way they can, well, they'll be on that mission, right? And out of nowhere, something that happened that's like out of their goddamn control. And I hate that shit. Even myself, it's like, when I know I got a responsibility to take care of, I do my part, and then next thing you know, like, my body will do something that, that I'm not needing it to do. And I get pissed. I don't get pissed, I get aggravated. The reason why I don't get pissed is because I did something a long time ago to put myself in this position. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I gotta hold myself accountable for the bullshit that I did. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do that shit, then I wouldn't be in this position to be on the verge of being pissed off. You know what I mean? So it's like, the choices we make, it's like choices that we gotta hold ourselves accountable to. And I think growth is very important. I think learning from your mistakes and learning from other people's mistakes is very important. I think that, our belief systems need to be tweaked. I think we need to be careful of who we try to help and who we try to love, who we try to care for, who we try to be acquainted with. You know what I'm saying? It's like the title of friendship. Some people are fortunate to run across decent people that they can share, their livelihoods, their lives together, You know what I'm saying? And there's no issues and there's no problems. And then you got people who, fucking will run across a narcissist, you know what I'm saying? And get fucked. You know what I'm saying? You might be an independent person and you might run across a codependent person. And that fucks up your whole spirit, you know what I mean? Put you in all these other situations that you wouldn't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You might be a codependent person and run into an independent person and you're the one that's holding them back. You know what I mean? So, it's like being responsible for your life or being responsible for somebody else's life. It's a real tricky situation. And some things, a lot of things are out of our control. I like that serenity prayer. It goes something like having, accept things that you can't change. Have the courage to change things that you can, and then have the wisdom to know the difference. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you put that along with sociology, when you're studying people and you're paying attention to what's going on in politics or what's going on with, religious people, what's going on with non-religious people, what's going on in the science field, pay attention to what's going on with the weather, you know what I'm saying? Global warming. Pay attention to, what they're doing under the ground with all that fracking and what they're doing out in the sea with all those oil rigs. And then you think about, how people are sinking so much money into studying nature or studying space. And it's like, then you still got to take time to rest your mind. You got to take time to find something to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? You got to distract yourself from the craziness out there. And if you don't want to call it craziness, you just got to call it whatever you can call it. There's so many descriptive words that you can use to describe what's going on outside of your doors. And that's why I say, when I hear about people who are putting themselves in danger each time they leave their homes, or just the fact that they have already, been hurt physically, mentally, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But then when you flip that coin, you're like, look at all the people who are at home and they're getting fucked up. You got drive-by shootings. You know what I'm saying? You still have racism going on where somebody's throwing a pipe bomb into your home, or they're throwing whatever that bottle with ignition fluid or whatever type of fluid, and got like a rag, a Molotov. Someone's throwing a Molotov through somebody's fucking window or at someone's door, and they're killing people. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are not protecting the elders that are in their community. People aren't even aware of the elderly people that's in their community. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying this to depress anybody. I'm just saying that being aware of our environment and being aware of the things that can possibly happen, maybe could happen, you know what I'm saying? Things that shoulda, woulda, coulda happened. You know what I mean? It's like we need leaders and role models out there. Think about this whole thing with Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West, and him running for president. It's like, okay, Dr. Cornel West has been on the scene for a long time. And it's like, why hasn't he stepped up a long time ago throughout all these years? You know what I'm saying? It's like when most people think of Barack Obama, they don't see him as a naturally quote unquote black person. They see him as a mulatto, a mixed breed. And so they sit back and say, no, we haven't had a black president because Barack Obama hasn't spent his career and his life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say what he has and what he hasn't done. Rumor reports that he hasn't done enough for the melanated community. And when you compare Barack Obama to Cornel West, you will say that, or a person would say that Cornel West has done more for the melanated community. And with that being said, it's like, why hasn't he stepped up to a position of a president of the United States or anything equivalent to that? You know what I'm saying? To that level of making change. It's like me. I can run my mouth all day and all night, post videos left and right, but what am I really changing besides the way someone's thinking about something? You know what I'm saying? Am I creating the next revolutionary, the next person who wants to get out and revolt? You know, I watched a video on the escaped slaves and the Seminoles that were down in Florida, and how one main escaped slave took people from Seminole, tracked them up to Oklahoma and down into Mexico to where they all bought some land. And I also watched a video on some slaves that did a revolt down in New Orleans. And these two, I think both of these things happened before Nat Turner did his revolt. So it's like, man, you have leaders out. We've had leaders. And when I say we, I'm talking about the minority. And I'm talking about the minority of any race, any color. You know what I mean? Because for one, our ancestors migrated from out of Africa. Period. So we are one people. Just look different. And we're just taught different things. And we act differently. But here it is. It's like everything has come back to the point where people who are not melanated, they want to embrace our culture, the melanated culture. They want to get their skin tone darker. They want to take on the melanated culture, period. The melanated way of life. You know, there's videos on YouTube of people who try soul food for the first time. And, you know, it's like, they be like, macaroni and cheese is good. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I've never had macaroni and cheese before. They be like, ooh, peach cobbler is good. I ain't never had no peach cobbler before. Ooh, black eyed peas and rice is good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, wow. You know, and when you think about Africans of today, and you got so many of them who are trying to be so non-melanated, trying to be so European, trying to be so bougie, period. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking bougie. And it's like, yeah, damn, man. You know, my family, you know, one of my family members has mentioned over and over again that if Africa as a continent got together and you know what I'm saying, it's like, I know that a lot of people have battled and a lot of people got a lot of bad blood between them, but if they put that aside, you know what I'm saying, if they just let that go and united, you know what I'm saying, they'd be such a strong people. You know what I mean? If they had something in common and they're like, you know, if you're not going to help us, then get the fuck out of our country. Get the fuck off our continent. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's so empowering. I mean, you know, a whole continent revolting against everyone that's not trying to, you know, to better that continent and the people within it. You know what I'm saying? You had so many folks that have colonized that continent and gained and profited that is terrible, it's crazy. And then it's like, man, you think about this country and the colonizers that came here. And what's so fucked up that pisses me off the most is that we still live by these laws that the colonizers put out there. Those laws, you know what I'm saying, that didn't accept Africans as a human. I mean, didn't accept Africans to be humans. You know what I'm saying? We were just, what do you call it, contraband. We were just labor. You know what I'm saying? We were no better than a tractor. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hold our life. You know, our life was worthless to them. But they put together some rules and some laws, and we're still living by that shit. And it's fucked up. And it's so fucked up that it affects people of all different colors and races. It affects people still. It's not their fault. It's just that that's the way the laws still are, and no one's wanting to change them laws. I keep saying, man, get rid of that fucking Constitution. Get rid of them fucking articles. Them fucking amendments. Get rid of that shit. We are a whole different type of people. We are a technical people dealing with technology and shit. You got more people that keep their faces buried into their phones or their tablets or their computers than we do people having civil conversations with somebody. You go to a fucking park and you sit at a bench, somebody's gonna walk right past you without saying hello. How are you? How's your day? Man, it's a beautiful day to be outside, ain't it? Nah, that person's gonna have on some earbuds, playing some music, minding their own fucking business, and not giving a fuck that you're existing. And it's fucked up. So yes, I do apologize for not having my facts straight about, you know, when I said that humans are the only creations out here that, or creatures, you know, or whatever, that you know, was steal from its own kind, that would harm its own kind, because, you know, it's all throughout nature. You know what I'm saying? Throughout, I mean, with you know, all different types of animals. You know what I'm saying? The wildlife, the wild kingdom. It's all through that shit. I was wrong. and I was also wrong about, people that make these movies and these TV shows, and they don't get creative enough to make aliens look different from humans, when actually they do. But it's like mankind has such a power driven idea of life, to where it's like they gotta be at the top of the food chain, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these other aliens that they create turn out to be pets or something that's tamed by humanoidish people. So it's just, I apologize for my wrongs, and I know I'm still running my mouth and talking shit about the things, my own truth or whatever the fuck. But it's like I'm getting these thoughts and these ideas from the things that are happening in this world. You know what I'm saying? If they don't report it, then I'm not knowing it, because I ain't taking my ass outside. I am not going to sit up here and put myself in a fucking position to get fucked over. Not unless I'm going to the damn hospital to, make sure my body is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm not out there, fucking exploring and trying to go on vacation. I'm happy at home. I'm happy with my family. And I'm not giving a fuck about what's going on out there enough to where I want to put myself out there. Now, it looks fun. It really do. I like watching them catch and cook videos. And it's like snorkeling, that ain't my deal. But, you know what I'm saying? If I can catch some crabs in the mud and get them cleaned off and boil them fuckers, hey, it's on and popping. You know what I mean? Let's, let's have a few drinks and let's have some conversations and enjoy a good ass meal. You know what I'm saying? Cook that shit from scratch. You know what I mean? Fuck a restaurant. Fuck paying all these expensive ass prices for fake meats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, shit. I get out there and catch me some food and cook it. I wish somebody had taught me how to hunt and how to clean my own kill. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would have taught me that. I hate touching critters. And with that, I hate touching, dead shit, period. I'm just like, man, fuck touching a cow. You know what I'm saying? Or some cow meat. But anyway, I'm going to get off from here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you can walk away with some extra thought about life, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out of here. I want you to have a good day. I want you to have a good night. I want you to have a good morning. And I want you to check out that 7 Days to Die. This game right here. There's so much to it that is crazy, man. It's a fucking fun-ass game. It's like the best game out there to me, because there's so many things you can do with it. With or without zombies. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you're a creative person, you can build. You know what I'm saying? If you're an adventurous person, you will go out and hunt. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm going to get off here. You take care. Peace.
I don't get it, baby. You tell me to listen and to understand where you're coming from, but sorry girl, I can't fit in your shoes. No, I'm not the best.